Hello, my name is Curtis Konek. I'm Inuk from Arviat, Nunavut. I'm also a corporal in 1st Canadian Ranger Patrol Group. Today I'm going to talk to you about spring survival skills in the Arctic. It is important to be active in the Arctic while you are on the land in the wintertime or springtime because it gets so cold out of nowhere. We don't know the weather when it's going to hit blizzard or cold temperatures in the Arctic. You have to be active when you are on the land. You have to move around a lot. You have to make your blood flow when you're cold. You can jump and down or run around or wrestle with your friend to be warm. That way you let your blood flow and keep it moving and keep it pumping, because that way you keep your body warm. Well, on the land in the springtime in the Arctic, it is always important to bring extra clothing while traveling out on land. In the springtime, the ice and snow starts to melt, and it is important to bring extra clothing in case you get wet while traveling. It's always important to bring sewing kit to the land, because this could rip in case while you are working too much or working on rope too much. So it is important to bring sewing kit to the land so you can just sew it when there's a hole in your boiluk, kamik, or parka. Inuit traditional clothing are important. If you get wet from traditional clothing, the snow can absorb the water. The snow will absorb the water if you step on your caribou skin clothing, and as you wear it, after you step on your traditional clothing, it will start to become warm again as you wear it. I have caribou clothing that I have with me that I can show you. These are kamiks, Inuit traditional clothing. This is a kamik puck, tuk caribou. These are kamik pucks. They keep you warm. These are the socks of caribou skin clothing. This is a handmade kamik. From my grandmother made this. And this is caribou parka, kolita. This is also a handmade that my grandmother made. This is how you wear it. You just need to wear your sweater. You don't need to wear extra clothing to wear this because it is so warm during springtime and wintertime. These are winter pants made out of caribou skin. These are also handmade that my grandmother made. These are much warmer than the winter pants that we use today. And these are my boiluk, caribou mitts. This is how we wear them. These are really warmer than the gloves, winter gloves that they made at the store. The ones you buy at the store gets cold easily. If you want it more warm, you get snow. You get snow. You wet it. You make your hands wet, and then start using them. It makes it more perfect. It makes it more comfortable.
Inuit are extremely patient people. We're the most patient people in the world. And the one thing that we learned from our parents, mothers and fathers, was the fact that we always had to be very patient, learn to wait. This is an extremely important patience of survival as Inuit. I wore, as my ancestors did for many, many thousands of years, was caribou clothing. I want to say to you that caribou clothing is the very best clothing in the world. This is basically why caribou survives in the Arctic, because of the fur. And there's no other clothing in the world that competes with caribou skin clothing, because caribou skin clothing is an extremely good clothing. It's warm. You can wear you know, a tigi, the coat with the fur against your skin, and you can wear kulitak with just as an outer coat with the fur outside of the clothing. And the fact that if you happen to fall in the water at -40 or -50 at the flow edge, or when you're out hunting on a lake and you go through a thin spot on the ice and you fall through the ice. I've done this. It happened to me a couple of times in the past, and I've seen other people. If you fall through the ice, for example, out at the flow edge, and it can happen, it happened to people, and it happened to me. You can undress right away at -40 or -50, put the caribou skin or your clothing out inside out, and step on the caribou clothing on the snow, and the snow, the water, will be absorbed by snow. And in a few minutes later, you put it back the way it was, and you put it on again, and you're warm for the rest of the day. So there's nothing that competes with caribou clothing. You can wear, sure, kabluna clothing, you know, things like that, snow goose, snow goose clothing or anything like that, down clothing. Well, if you happen to fall in the water with one of those in the water at -40 or -50, your clothing will freeze, and you freeze to death. And that's what can happen. But no matter how you do it today, our young people, young women in particular, even young men, they have to learn how to sew caribou clothing, because without clothing at winter time, especially in the winter time in the Arctic, in Nunavut or within Inuit homelands, you cannot go without caribou clothing, period.
Being lazy gets you cold, your blood flow it's running low because you're doing nothing. You're just sitting down doing nothing, even though you see a lot of people doing work, and you're just sitting down waiting for stuff to happen, and that way you get so cold. So be active in the land, be active in the Arctic. So it is important to be active when you're out on land in the winter time. Thank you for watching. My name is Curtis Konek. I'm from Arviat, Nunavut. Mutna.